Ever had a client fall in love with your pitch only to find out it's nearly double the budget? Here's how to avoid that heartache. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to safeguard your pitch from going way over budget and keep your client's trust intact. For over 15 years now, I've helped countless producers and marketing managers recalibrate their ideas for pop-ups, brand activations, and experiential events to make sure that they align with their budget without sacrificing on creativity. It's a lot simpler once you've got a proven approach, and that's what I'm going to share with you now. Number one, have a crystal clear budget. Have you ever spent days working on a pitch to present to a client that they end up falling in love with, but end up scrapping the whole thing because it's way over budget? It's a real kick in the guts. Before presenting these grand ideas, I always try to make sure that I understand the budget inside out. You want to know where the goalposts are so you can score, and you don't want anyone moving those goalposts while you're about to take your shot. Understanding this can sometimes save you days, even weeks of effort. So here's the best way that works for me on how to do this. Ask early so you don't do too much work going in the wrong direction. Probe for flexibility both ways. By this, I mean, what factors could increase the budget or decrease the budget? And here are two questions you can use to do this. Is there any wriggle room in the budget if we can show you a massive return on investment? Or is there anything you're aware of internally that might result in the budget being reduced at any stage? And then once you've got all this information, it's time to manage expectations from here on in. It's always good to set the stage by explaining the design matches reality and that that's what we're going to be working towards. You might think, but the client wants to hear the dream first. That's okay. Paint the dream, but apply a cost with it. This shows that you're both creative, but also have a really good understanding of what things are going to cost. Number two, build a tiered approach. If you only propose one idea and it's well over budget, you're toast. You'll need to backpedal and start slashing features. Instead, I always like to offer scalable options. This could be like a gold, silver, bronze approach. That way, the client can see various levels of investment and can pick the one that's going to suit their wallet. I'm going to go into a bit more detail about this in number 5, so stick with me till we get there. Providing options instead of deductions makes everyone's life easier. So here's how you can do it. Define the core concept. Nail the centerpiece of this project, the bit that is the big non-negotiable. Next, provide add-on elements. List additional features, high-spec materials, interactive tech, all that kind of stuff. And last is deliver budget clarity. Make the cost difference crystal clear so there's no miscommunications or nasty surprises later on. You might worry that this seems like upselling, but actually it's all about providing options for our clients. And if you can do this for your clients, they'll appreciate the transparency and love you for it too. Number 3 is stress test costs. I've seen producers, creative and designers craft concept boards that look stunning, but when the job gets costed up, the price is astronomical. And there's nothing more daunting after you've done all this work to find yourself back at square one. So before presenting your idea, do a quick sanity check with your custom builder to make sure you're on the right track. They can flag expensive materials or features that they can help you bring back within check before you present to your client. The first thing to do is do a pre-quote collaboration. Share your mock-ups with the custom builder so they can start to get a ballpark figure together for you. Then ask if there's any more cost-effective ways to achieve the same look. And then make sure you do a timeline check. Ensure that your supplier has got capacity and is able to get the materials and components needed for your job in time in order to meet your deadline. I completely understand what you might think. They don't want me bothering them with half-baked ideas. Trust me, this is easier to do than revamping the whole project when you find out that it's not a feasible option. Number 4 is show the client the numbers early. I've seen so many pitches where the presenter presents the big dream and then drops the cost right at the end. And the number is not what the client was expecting. All that excitement that was built up vanishes in seconds. Instead, try integrating discussions about the budget throughout the presentation. Show how each feature contributes to the price so there's no big shock at the end. You can do this by breaking down the budget. List the main cost drivers like materials, custom items, timelines, etc. I also think it's good to give each element a purpose so that that cost can be associated with the impact it's going to deliver for the brand. And lastly, I think it's really good when you can regularly invite feedback throughout the presentation. A question I really like to ask is, does this align with your expectations? And then I can get a gauge of where they sit with it. And number 5, have a backup plan. If a brand wants champagne on a beer budget, you're probably going to need a plan B or a plan C so that you don't find yourself scrambling for redesign ideas. Always keep at least one alternative in your back pocket. It may not be that extravagant, but it's going to prevent you from the situation of freezing like a deer in the headlights. You can come up with a lower cost variation, just like what we spoke about earlier with the bronze, silver and gold packages. You can also come up with a scope reduction strategy. If the timeline's tight, we can propose a scaled back version. You might feel like this is a little bit of extra work, but trust me, this is a hell of a lot less stressful than a full redo in the 11th hour. So to wrap this up, let's do a quick recap. We want to start by aligning the budget from day one. We want to create scalable pitches so that we've got options. We want to cross-check our ideas with our builders early. We want to be transparent about the numbers throughout the whole pitch with our clients. And we always want to have a plan B. Integrating these steps into your process not only is going to save you a lot of heartbreak, but it's going to strengthen your client relationship and position you as a pro who can juggle both creativity and practicality at the same time. By sticking to these principles, you'll keep them excited, informed, and most importantly, coming back for more. If you want some more tips and insights in regards to pitching custom build ideas to your clients, I've got another video which is called the 5 must-ask questions when your client briefs in a custom build. I'll put the details to it in the description if you want to check it out. Until then, keep the awesome ideas coming and I'll catch you in the next one.